people know I'm Adrenaline Mike, and
Hi,
Shane
Mike.
is right now. This is Shane Prendivillle. I don't even know what your online name is. Shane Pre-Immortal or something.
Oh,
Mortaville.
on Facebook, yeah, it's Primordialville.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. That
Just,
happened.
just.
I'm sorry, I got finished. Um, I changed it about 6 years ago to that,
Okay.
and I think it was just because of the slight paranoia of using your real name, but it doesn't really matter. And I just kept it though because I like it,
Yeah.
and it's easy to find when I type it in for people.
All right.
But my
So
real name is Prendivillle, which is a rare
Prendivillle,
name.
yes.
Very rare name.
So just for anybody who doesn't know who's watching this, you and I
Which
have
is
been
everybody.
friends since 1992, maybe 90. I don't know. It was in eighth grade. That was a long time ago.
It would have been 92 then.
I just remember I met you at Alex.
We went and saw Metallica together in 91.
Oh, that is right. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it was 91 then.
God, we're old. 91.
Yeah. I just remember we were playing some type of video game at Alex Hamilton's house. And that's when we started talking.
Oh, yeah. If it was, there's only like a few, because I mean, it was Alex's house. We only had a few video games between all of us, I think. Ninja Gaiden, Double Dragon 2.
So anyway,
yeah, I was there for the
do the
beginning.
interview part. So can you introduce yourself? Like why am I even interviewing you?
Because we're bored and everybody's dying of corona, and we better do this quick. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, I was there during the first days of Ripe when you started Ripe.
Yeah, the first 2 issues were Ripe. One of them has your drawing on it, I believe.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'm still not that good of a drawer.
I literally had them like yesterday. They're all right over here.
I did draw Gone from Hunter x Hunter. I took a YouTube tutorial for that. I suggest it for anybody.
I think I have. Oh, this was wait, that was Adrenaline 3. I'm trying to look at my. I don't have the one that you drew on here.
Of course not. Probably got
Here's
sold.
Adrenaline number 3, though. Do you remember who drew this?
Sean Swanson.
Yes. You know his style. But anyways, yeah, that was issue number 3 of Adrenaline. I think you did number 2, which I don't have right now. Anyway, so you're Shane Prendivillle, and you were in like a you're in a band or something, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. So at least
You're
the 2
bands
that
aren't around anymore, like Forever Sleep and.
Okay, chronologically, I could go. The bands have actually made albums. Anyway, well, I was in Milkweed.
Yes.
Tom Hazer and a guy named Greg Resch.
I'm gonna digitize that cassette sometime so people can hear Milkweed.
Yeah, and Tom is doing quite well now, managing David Ellefson and singing for his band, Megadeth bass player. Also, let's see. Then I did Forever Sleep, which was my first band that I actually recorded with. And I recorded with the people you went to school with. These guys. What else? So Forever Sleep was like a black death metal band back in '96, so that was fun. Zen Bar Fight, and that was the band that kind of really changed me. A guy named Jason Wyden, and then John Hill, who now plays Mortal Skuld. I don't know if you did an interview with him, but you should.
Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good stuff now. And then, so Zen Bar Fight was a really like kind of avant-garde prog band, heavily influenced by like King Crimson and all that stuff. And I brought like a metal element into it, and Jason Wyden kind of came from like this kind of jazz fusion, really crazy. The guy, I would say Jason was pretty close to a musical genius. He just had some issues, unfortunately, that didn't help him at all. But his playing was amazing, and his writing was really good. Anyway, but that band's important because, I mean, they're all important, but that band was really important because it really kind of expanded the world of weirdness and no mistakes. Okay, so yeah, Zen Bar Fight. And then I moved to Minneapolis. and a guy named Tom Kelly also moved to Minneapolis. And I went to school for recording, and I met a guy named Charlie Werber, and we started a band called Guzzlemug back in 2007, I think, around Halloween, because I know we recorded, because we were in recording school, so we recorded all the time. It was nice. Yeah, that's it. That has been, actually.
It's been sitting here for a really long time, actually.
I'm glad it came in useful.
Sticker. Yeah.
But yeah, that band, I'm really proud of the music of that band. We have 4 albums plus 2 kind of random stuff albums. But we have 4 albums altogether, and like I'm the most proud of in the music I've ever done in my life. I'm definitely the most proud of Guzzlemug. And then during that time, actually, I joined up with Matt Vogels to help him do Murmur. And me and Charlie. He did a Murmur record with Corey Prendivillle. I hope I say that right. The first album, and that first album actually got a lot of notoriety in the U.S. and Europe as like a depressive black metal stuff, and then got signed to Season of Mist Records, which is a really great record label. You know them, yeah? They did like that Last Morbid Angel record.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like avant-garde metal stuff, and that was a huge thing for anybody. But the album that Season of Mist got wasn't what they were expecting, because they signed Murmur off this kind of depressive black metal, and then me, Charlie joined, and then Alex Perkolup, who plays in Lovely Little Girls, and he played in Cheer Accident for a long time. Played with Bobby Kahn, like a pop guy. Really amazing bass player. So when we joined Murmur, then everything got fucking bonkers, weird, right? So when the head, Michael Burbian, I think his name is, and he got the Murmur record, he literally, I remember he put on Facebook, I got this really crazy, exciting record, but I don't know what the hell to do with it. He didn't know exactly how to label it because it was coming out of black metal, and it had black metal feel to it, but it was all over the place. A lot of like magma influence, a lot of 70s prog and jazz fusion, but mixed with a lot of dark, dissonant metal. It's a really good record, actually. And that band, Murmur, is actually currently recording slowly, and I hope to be part of that this summer.
Cool.
They're recording. Corey is back in the band. So it's 5 people. And he's recording in his own house. So that's exciting. So we can take our time. And I can probably do some stuff remotely. I'm in Indonesia right now. Okay. So yeah, that's about it. With I also want to just, since we're talking about it, I want to talk about the last Guzzlemug record, which got recorded in 2015 before I left the U.S. And we're finally releasing it really soon. We're just kind of waiting for maybe a little artwork. But we did a free download like 3 weeks ago, and people snatched it up, and it was really nice. If anybody wants it, I'll send it to you. Just get a hold of me. But I'm really, really, really proud of that. It's like 38 minutes long, and it's only like 2 songs. And but it's good. Like people who listen to it, especially now during the time of Corona and isolation, it's a good album, I think, because I think people are starting to slow down and allow themselves to actually listen to shit instead of just being like. I mean, we're still all consistently online, but I think our lives are a lot more slow either way.
Yeah.
So like, it's a good time to listen to Mozart's Requiem and stuff like that. We actually have time.
Yeah, I just did an interview with my for school. You know, my son had to do ask me some questions, interview questions, and one of them was like, what kind of positive impacts has the coronavirus pandemic, whatever, had on you? And it's like, people don't stop to think about the positives very often. Like, for one thing, I'm home a lot more, so I see my family like all the time now.
Yeah.
When I'm not in the office, I'm actually here, you know, and right, it's immediately after, there's no travel time, so immediately afterwards, I'm here to hang out and stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. I know. Like, actually, I just watched a video a friend posted about the good things about Corona. Of like exposing what we were just talking before you started recording about shedding light on the corruption in America. Hopefully it actually does something. Definitely shedding a lot of light on pollution around the world. Like in China, where I was living, it was extremely polluted. I wasn't there during Corona. Well, I was actually, but I left before the news came out. And but like I heard that the skies were so clear and so blue. Because where I was living, like it was just like white sky, probably 5-6 days of the week. Could rarely see the stars.
Mm.
But yeah, like a lot of stuff is happening with, I think, positive elements of it. Of course, a lot of people are getting screwed. I had a really great summer plan. I'm taking a 45-day tour in Europe. That's something I guess I could talk about real quick.
What was the band you're going to tour with again?
So the band is called Round Eye. Round Eye.
Round Eye, okay.
It's a joke, kind of, because it's a bunch of American guys from that've been living in Shanghai for like 15, 17, 18 years, and they got a really amazing punk band. It's like a kind of like an art punk band, kind of like, it's hard to explain, kind of like the Dickies mixed with like high energy. They got a saxophone player, a little bit of Captain Beefheart influence, but like really punky too. But like, yeah, not like aggressive, angry punk. Well, some of it, yeah. But it's just really good. I really suggest checking out Round Eye. They got a lot of cool videos.
Okay, cool. So one of the things
real quick, the reason why Round Eye came up is because we are going to do a 45-day tour.
Yeah, yes.
In Europe, starting in June, very late June, like the last few days of June. We're going to start in Netherlands. And I'd never done a tour in Europe before, and that would have been really amazing. Maybe next year, because I'll still do it. But like, yeah. So I was really looking forward to that, and I'm sure they're really bummed because it takes a lot of work to set that stuff up.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So I was gonna go to China, to Shanghai, and stay there for a month, and then just play with them, and then go to Europe. But that has not happened. And then I was planning on going back to the U.S. around August or
September.
Whatever's after August, yeah.
I think you're going to come for the Adrenaline Army birthday bash in September. September 12th.
Well, I hope that everything's okay to do that. We'll all have to dress in plastic bubbles. I almost for surely will be in the U.S. at that point, I think. Well, either way, I'll be in the U.S. within the next, probably after things kind of calm down. Because now that the tour is canceled, unless if it's not, but Europe is screwed too. They're like on military lockdown. My friends in Prague were saying that if you go outside and you like start talking to people, you can get a hefty fine. And you can only go to the market and then go back home. And like no hanging out, no restaurant, nothing's open.
I saw one place where like I think it was somebody was saying like in Czech Republic they was actually required to wear masks like if you're in public.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You have to have a mask on.
Yeah. And Prague's a really beautiful city, but they know the game. They had to do that back in the 60s with the Soviet regime fucking everything up. They hate whatever. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's who I am.
So I was gonna ask about the different music scenes since you've been around for a while. You were in Minneapolis, you were in Chicago, went to China, then you went to Prague, and then now you're in Indonesia.
Well, if I could talk about my musical career, my first band was in Green Bay. Milkweed was in Green Bay. We actually played at some shows. We actually played with Dusk and Crawl for our very first show. Yeah, and Broke Box. You did an interview with Dusk, right?
Not recently. But I did one like way back in the earlier Adrenaline days, yeah.
Wow, yeah, I thought you were gonna do another one.
I was.
I know they kind of
I have a lot planned right now. Let's just gotta get to it.
Yeah, man. I went and saw them. Sort of, kind of side veer here, but I saw them in Green Bay. Was it like 2 years ago or something? And they were really, really good. It was a really good show. The old singer came back. It was cool. But yeah, so our first show was like 94, 95. I don't know if you were at that show. I remember being really, 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 really nervous and like just be like playing really stiff.
I'm pretty sure I was there. I think I was there.
Yeah. But yeah, actually Green Bay at that time had a great scene. I mean, if you remember the Orpheum City Center.
Yeah.
We saw Testament there, Sepultura, Fear Factory, Clutch. This is the days when bands used to actually go to the smaller cities. and
Right.
we were like 15, 16, seeing these bands. That means a lot, because I remember that stuff very well. I feel bad for kids these days because they got nothing.
Right.
They can go to a stadium show, but like we went to Metallica, but still, like stadium shows aren't nearly as cool as seeing Fear Factory, getting on stage, jumping back
Right.
off.
And then majority of them would actually go to their own merch booth afterwards, so you can go talk to them.
Yeah. Because I remember I met all the guys from Fear Factory because it was their first album. It was a solo Burning Machine. Because that was the Sepultura show, the Sepultura Chaos AD tour.
Yeah. So anyway, we're kind of getting off. We're kind of getting off the subject a little bit. I was asking you more about as you were traveling around, like the differences in the scenes and stuff, like what you've noticed, whether you're playing, whether just trying to find local music to listen to.
All right. So yeah. Okay. So I'll go fairly fast now. Sorry. So yeah, Green Bay, and I lived in Appleton for a while. And yeah, then I moved to Minneapolis in 2006, and that's when I formed with Guzzlemug. The scene in Minneapolis, considering how small that city is really good. Has a really great music scene. Minneapolis is an amazing city in America, I think, because they have such a big progressive mind for such a small place. But yeah, so then I moved to Chicago. Me and Charlie and Tom and Guzzlemug moved to Chicago in 2011. And then, yeah, and then Murmur got more started up at that time. I did some other projects with a pop guy named Sasha Mullen, who's really amazing. Charlie and Tom both played on his record too. Yeah. And I play with my friend Omar, who owns this shop, if anybody cares.
In Chicago,
they should.
Right?
Yeah. Revolution Tattoo's been in there for like 15, 20 years. His wife owns a really cool, like a cult shop right next door. He plays really good doom metal. But yeah, the Chicago scene, as everybody probably knows, is really good. Chicago is huge. There's so much good stuff. So out of Chicago, I moved to China, and then my music kind of stopped. I kept playing, and I brought my guitar with me. Like the first day, I brought my Ibanez with me, and then, but I never really played too seriously in China. Actually, I got some funny stories. So in China, let me tell you this story. So in China, you can actually get work fake playing, pretending to play your guitar, as long as you're a foreigner. Can't be Chinese. So there'll be usually like some Russian girl or Ukrainian girl singing, but she's really singing to like a karaoke track off her phone or something. And then it'll be like me, my friend Rifat, who's from Bangladesh, or like just as long as you're a foreigner, you're just sitting there pretending to play your guitar or keyboard. And I had friends who couldn't play at all, would pretend to play keyboard because it's really easy to hide. It's really funny. I can't believe, and they paid really well too. Like I paid really well to do like some really absolutely ridiculous work. But okay, so then I just playing with some local guys, a guy from Bangladesh and a Chinese guy. We were just kind of playing metal covers, which was really funny, like Black Sabbath, and like we did some Nirvana, Motorhead. I never thought I would play like Nirvana live, but I did. But that was just kind of to keep going, and then I got a little bit more familiar with the Chinese scene. Black metal and thrash metal are pretty big in China. I mean, not as big as a lot of other places, but for metal, that's the stuff that they really like, is like a lot of black and thrash. And like there's not a lot of death metal or like say doom or something, or like a lot of other metal that you can think of. There's a lot of like what's this stuff called? Like metalcore, like fancy playing and like the clean screamo stuff. That's kind of popular. But the problem with China is it's really hard for people to play. It's hard to find places to play. I lived in a city called Taiyuan in a province called Shanxi, and it's about 4 million people in the city, and like there's only like two venues I can think of that you could play at out of 4 million people. That's amazing. So I mean, amazingly terrible. I mean, there's a lot of like music like at little bars and stuff, but it's just like cover stuff, you know. It's like just people
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the corner singing lounge tunes or some horrible Chinese pop music. But yeah, the Chinese scene, like I got to play a festival there in a city called Chongquan, way up in the north in the cold area, and that was really cool because like it started at noon because the venue was gonna have a wedding at night. So like it was a festival of about 6 bands, and it was all like black and thrash metal bands, except for one band was kind of like sort of pop metal, but they were still good. And but it was really cool because like all these people came out, you know, at noon, and the place was pretty much full by the second band. You know, like I was like, oh man, people are actually really going to come out for this. So I would say like because of how small the scene is in China, like the people are very serious about it when they're doing it. You know, a lot of them, unfortunately, a lot of them are just kind of copying European like black metal or like U.S. thrash and stuff like that. They're not doing anything particularly new. When you listen to them, you don't like, oh, that band sounds like they're from China. But there's a black metal band called Frozen Moon, which is funny because it's probably taken from Mayhem, but they actually have a lot of Chinese music influence, like folk music influence.
Frozen Moon.
Frozen Moon. Yeah. I've only heard a little bit of their stuff, but I really liked it. And they're like one of the oldest black metal bands, and they're like 20 years old in China. They come out of kind of like Beijing. They're kind of spread around. Okay. And this kid I met, his name was, oh my God, I forgot his name. Joe. I call him Jojo. And he's like 18, but he's like just a little blast grind monster. And he's like all tatted up and like had these long hair. I'm surprised his parents let him do that because Chinese parents are usually really conservative. But he's like a really good drummer, and he comes out of the city I was living in. Well, actually a smaller city next to it. And it's funny because he's so good, like he's in like 6-7 bands, you know. And like they're like in Beijing or Dongbei or something like that. So like China, I mean, I don't know because I've never been to Shanghai, I've never been to Chengdu, I haven't been to Guangzhou, like these really big places. Beijing, I've been to Beijing, but a lot of the music comes out of those places, and a lot of China just doesn't really give a shit about music or arts. I mean, I shouldn't say that there's a lot of it, but it really is kind of separated. It's like if art is here and then everything else is over on the other side, like practical living. Even in school, like artists can't really intermingle with, like they can't take math classes. You know, it's all like just their art regime or whatever regime.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, but if you're in math or if you're like going for physics or something, you're not taking any art classes. So they can't really intermix. So it kind of strews over a lot of like kids who maybe are interested in art, but maybe, you know, whatever. Anyway, that's a different story. But China for music, I met some really great musicians, and I was there for a long time. So, but I should have met a lot more because actually now I'm in Indonesia. Well, okay, so I left China in 2018 August to go to school again. And I went to Prague in Czech Republic. And as maybe, I don't know if people who would actually watch this know, but Prague's an amazing music city, really amazing art city. A music city for like so many things like classical, folk, metal. They love metal in Czech Republic. Like some of the biggest festivals are in Czech. Like there's a grind festival. Oh man, I can't remember the name. But you can just look like there's like the one John's band Mortal Skull that they played, brutal something.
Yeah,
Brutal Assault.
Were you there when they played?
No, because I was gone during the summer.
Oh.
Yeah. I went to Prague in August of 2018. And then I left again to come back to Asia around late May, June of last year, 2019. And I was meant to go back to Prague, actually, after the summer. I just came back. I went to Taiwan just to go, and then I went back to China to visit friends, and then I got stuck back in China working because it was so easy. Because we were just like, oh, here's an apartment. Yeah, here's some work. I'm like, okay. But anyway, yeah. So it's actually kind of funny that I went back because that's when I played the festival. It was just last year. And but yeah, so yeah, Prague. I had musically, I had not a lot going on. I started writing almost like folk music, which no one has really heard yet. Kind of more normal songs. I was in like this kind of avant-garde trio of a violin and a flute player, and yeah, I wasn't playing like rock or metal actually at all in Prague. Um, a little bit when I would jam, which is really funny because like doing a metal band in Prague would be pretty easy. It's a good place for it.
Hmm.
And all right, so yeah, I guess Prague musically I didn't do a whole lot. So then I went back to Asia. Went to Taiwan for a while. I'm trying to think. Taiwan actually has a pretty good scene, considering it's a little island. Actually, there's a really famous politician in Taiwan who's a death metal singer. Let's see. So I went back to China, blah, blah, blah. Went to Mongolia. We were talking about the Who. I didn't get to see anything in Mongolia, though. I didn't see any metal bands or any bands, really. I saw a shaman do some really crazy stuff. That's different. All right, so then I went to kind of in and out of China for a while, and then I went to Japan on January 21st, I think. And it's funny because I landed in Japan, and then the coronavirus thing hit, and then so things started getting weird. But I got to see. Some people might know about this if they like extreme music. Is like extreme like metal, or sorry, like a harsh noise. I don't know if you know about this harsh noise stuff. I don't remember. Todd probably talked about it a lot. Like a guy named Merzbow. Anyway, this two-man group called Incapacitants, and they've been playing harsh noise since like 1990. So they're pretty old now, but they're still going at it like just as they were. And harsh noise is exactly what it sounds like. It's with Incapacitants anyway. It's just a bunch of guitar pedals or whatever noisemakers, and they just turn them on, and they have like some shakers and like microphones and boxes and stuff, and then they just scream, and it's just and it's amazing. But like I went to a festival in this tiny little basement called Soup in Tokyo, and now that was a highlight of my Japan trip because most of the time I spent in the woods, drinking from a river because that's how far out I was. I was in a place called Kochi. If anybody knows Japan, it's way on the south side. But I got to see some really, like, Japan is like full of amazing music, like so much amazing stuff. Like your favorite band, Baby Metal.
Sure, yeah.
It was funny actually. I was walking down the street in Tokyo, and like there's all these old dudes. I got a picture of it. There's all these old dudes like just kind of like creeping in the window, and I look in the window, and there's like this Baby Metal looking girl group, like just that kind of same style, because it's probably popular now. It's called kawaii culture. Kawaii means cute, and kawaii has like all this culture now, like kawaii, like it's just like really, stuff like this. But it's all like, but also mixed with like a lot of dark themes too, like Baby Metal, for instance, or apparently one of the themes happening when I was there was like injured kawaii, where these girls would be dressed up all cute, but they would have injuries and like eye patches. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Japan was amazing. It's expensive though, so if you go, be prepared. But I would suggest going there for sure for any kind of music. And then I came to Indonesia, where I am now, and I've been in Indonesia since March 11th, I think. And I'm in this tiny little town. Well, it's not that tiny, but city called Sukabumi. It's about 300,000 people. And already, like this place I'm staying at, which is like a hostel, art space, cafe, like a three mixture, big building. They have a lot of shows here, or at least they were, not so much now. There's like music probably here once every 2 weeks or so, or maybe more. And then you can walk right across the street. There's like a metal place called Pride Palace, which doesn't sound like a metal place, but and there's a guy who owns it, and he's the singer of this death metal band called Death Angel. I'm not sure how he got away with that name, but anyway, no, not Death Angel. Angel of Death. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
I'll send them to you because they're actually really good. They're like really professional, like really good quality metal, death metal. And then like just down the road, I would walk, and because I was going to the store and I heard some people just playing guitar, and I walked in and it was like a punk place, like a kind of like a crust punk place where they have shows of just like punk bands and stuff. And then I went to a punk show, like about 4 weeks ago. The band from Nepal was there. They're probably still stuck here, actually. But yeah, this Nepalese band, just playing like Discharge and stuff like that. Like it's crazy because like already in this town of 300,000 people, I went to 4 different venues that play music, and I lived in a Chinese city of 4 million people that had 2 venues. That's a pretty big difference, you know. That kind of shows you where China is at with their appreciation of like. I mean, I loved a lot of things about China, but they got a lot of things that I don't love. And being a musician is not great in China. Being a white musician or a foreign musician gives me a lot of perks, but like people want to know you, blah blah blah, or they'll just have your band play just because you're not Chinese. But yeah, I would say China is definitely one of the places that is very like a void of music. But like Asia in general, what I've learned too is like even like Laos, of course, like Thailand, I don't know about Cambodia, but like Laos apparently has a huge like black metal scene. And I know Indonesia has a huge metal scene. I guess the president here of Indonesia, his favorite band is Megadeth.
Okay.
But yeah, but you see it everywhere. You see it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I did some live stuff here already, just with some people that I met. Just more weird improv stuff. Nothing particularly. I mean, it's good. It's kind of good. It's fun.
Yeah.
So that's up to date now.
All right. So the art thing that you did yesterday, what was exactly that I saw like the video was available on YouTube right now, and it's like 5 hours long. So what exactly? How did you get involved in that? Indonesian cat.
Yeah. His name is Toupee because of his head. And he's really lazy. Look at him. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you.
I could use a toupee. So.
Okay, start over because your video was cutting up.
Oh, yesterday you did here it was yesterday around noon, whatever, you did the art initiative or whatever, the art live streaming. So what exactly was that, and how did you get involved in that?
Say the last 10 seconds again.
The last how did you get involved in the art?
I don't know why it's freezing up. Okay, so the art thing is it was a fundraiser that they did 10 paintings for 10 different artists, and also some graffiti art. So that's like 12 paintings, and they're doing it as a fundraiser because of the coronavirus, and they had this huge festival that that was going on canceled, where they get a lot of their money for the whole year, because Indonesia is really cheap living, but also you don't make a lot of money. So a lot of these people are just skimming by, and this place is an art place too. So you just got a lot of people doing creative stuff, but not really making a ton of money. There's a cafe and there's a hostel, and the hostel, when it's not Corona time, I guess it's pretty full. But I came here right in the beginning of Indonesia starting to shut down. So yeah, we did. I did some live music with some local guys, some guys who actually do traditional dance and traditional music. But the music we did, especially like the first song, sounds like Santana. It just sounds like 70s, like kind of jam fusion, but it's really fun. And those guys playing this thing called I always get this wrong. It's like the kapachi instrument. It's like the string board, and he's really good at it. If you watch the videos, he's playing it for the first 2 songs. We could link them up. Oh, because I put the videos on YouTube. I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
So,
I actually found if you go to that one live stream link, you can actually see all 5 hours are still there to watch.
it's still there
Yeah.
on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because
I sent it to somebody at like the 3 hour mark is when you're starting to pose for your painting or whatever.
Oh God, yeah. So like drunk doing that, but yeah. The thing is that YouTube took the channel down because they mentioned that they were selling paintings, and that's a no-no on YouTube, I guess.
Well, it was
But
there.
they got all the recordings, and they're gonna kind of re-put it together and re-put it out. But there's still, there's a Patreon page for it, which I guess I could give you information if anybody's interested, because it's a really cool place in Sukabumi. It's like a tiny city. It's not, like I said, it's not tiny. It's 300,000 people, but like there's a lot of art here done by people who don't really, that's what they do. There's not a lot of these guys I see every day. Like they don't think they have jobs, and a lot of people live here. They just sleep in the rooms, they sleep on the floor, they sleep wherever. So it's really interesting that way. So their life is dedicated to this kind of stuff. It's not like the American way where you're like, oh yeah, it's really nice that you play guitar, but you should get a real job.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these things, these people are just, this is what they do. But yeah, so yeah, I did some music. I pre-recorded it because in order to live stream in Europe around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and the US around noon, depending on where you are, we had to start at midnight. So we couldn't play music. And actually, it turned out it's way better that we pre-recorded it because we had some technical issues for like a half hour, and also the sound. I got to remix the sound. I recorded it with 2 mics, and then I remixed it to make it sound much better than it did. And so we just use those videos. But yeah, I have those YouTube videos. They're not amazing, but they're fun. And I can link on those YouTubes. Actually, I should link some other music of like the guys, like the guy Indra. He was doing all this kind of crazy singing and stuff. He does an amazing dance. He's a traditional Sudanese dancer, Sundanese, which is like another group of people here in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. So yeah, that's that. Oh, the place is called Rumah Mesra, which means like Rumah means room, like home, and then Mesra means something like miss you or like kind of love you or something. It sounds like a love hotel. It sounds like a brothel name.
So you're staying in a love hotel?
Yes, without any of the love. But yeah. So that's what's going on there. Currently, again, to go backwards, Murmur is still active, and they're recording now, and I'm going to be writing some stuff on my own and then sending them guitar lines and stuff like that. And then hopefully I'll go to the US by the end of summer and stay there for a while. And then
And Murmur's based out of Chicago right now? Or
no, I would say no.
Is there a base of Murmur?
No, well, I would have to say Northeast Wisconsin for now.
Okay.
Because Matt lives in Green Bay. He's from Green Bay, so he's back in Green Bay. Corey, the guy who was kind of drumming, but more like keys and recording. He's the guy who drummed on the first record called Mainlining the Lugubrious. And then the record me and Charlie and Alex are on is called just self-titled. That was the one that was on Season of Mist. And so the recording at Corey's, he lives in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Charlie, the drummer, I don't know how active he'll be on it, but we're thinking he'll probably do it. Corey might record kind of like a scratch track. I don't really know actually exactly how they're planning it. I need to talk to them. But anyway, he's living in California, like Bay Area, and then Alex, the bass player, he's the one who's in Chicago.
All right.
So Murmur was, at least for that second record, for the record that we played on, we were all living in Chicago at the time. Yeah. But other than that, it's definitely not Chicago anymore. I would actually call Murmur a Wisconsin band if I had to, because Matt is the main guy, and he's definitely Wisconsin.
I told you, I told you I'm making a list of all the active metal bands in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I'm currently at I think I have 125 on there right now, and I haven't touched them all. So I should get in touch with Murmur.
Yeah. You could do. I'm sure you could do an interview with Matt if you wanted to. Matt and Corey, they're obviously really nice guys. So, yeah, because actually, yeah, to talk about Murmur, Matt would definitely be the guy to talk to. Because I was there since the beginning, but like I moved out of Wisconsin when he started recording the first one, and only thing I did was I wrote a bass line and recorded it on the first record. Howie Voigt, who does Speaks Volume Records, which is relevant because he helped me put out some Guzzlemug records.
Okay.
He helped put out the second record called To Leave the Earth, because we printed that on vinyl, and also me and him printed the Murmur vinyl too. So he has Speaks Volume Records, and my record thing is called Bad Human, but it's kind of not really doing anything.
Howie sent me a lot of that vinyl, so I might actually have that one.
Oh yeah, sure you do. Well, you should, you jerk. So like,
I've gotten my record player. I still haven't hooked it up yet.
I see it.
I had to go buy a needle for it. What are you doing? Oh yeah, you can see it in the back there.
Yeah.
That's not hooked up.
I noticed.
I have plenty of. I even have I have Mortar Skull to play on it too. I still haven't done that yet.
Yeah, records are so much fun once you start getting into them, man. They're really great.
I don't think I have quality speakers to really make it fulfilling.
Yeah, well, go sell some junk and buy something good, like a.
Well.
What?
I need to have a benefit where we sell paintings of you to raise money I can buy speakers.
I'm getting that painting, by the way.
Are you? I was gonna ask you if anybody bought it.
No, I don't think that one wasn't for sale. That was just
okay.
That was just for display. Or she's literally live painting during the event. Yeah. Like I sat for like all
if you want to store it somewhere, I'll hang it on my wall here.
Yeah, it's like me looking off in this kind of serene way, and then she painted my ukulele on it. And she did a really good job. She's a really cool lady. And then hopefully, she said I could take it with me, but she took it
really
home.
Captured the gray in your beard.
Yeah, I think I look older in the painting. I'll grow into it.
Older and wiser.
Yeah. Older and dumber. But yeah, I don't know. As moving around the world has definitely showed me different things. Definitely brought me out of the U.S. and obviously more than just the music scene, but like culturally, it's really interesting to see how the rest of the world works. The parts I've seen it. How crazy the U.S. is.
So, what are your future plans for moving? Where are you going to live? Like, where are you going to live eventually? Any idea?
I had a plan. I don't know anymore.
You don't know anymore?
Well, I have an Irish passport, so I can actually live in the EU without any issue. I can get a job. I can live there. I don't have to leave. I don't need any visa. I really like Asia, but I don't know. It's harder to get jobs here, and now everything's screwed. So I don't know. If I go back to the U.S.,
everywhere though.
That's what I mean. Well, especially the U.S. But that's why I'm a little reluctant to go back. But I mean, by the time I don't even know when I'm going back to the U.S. It could be next month. It could be 3 months from now. If it gets really bad, maybe not.
September 12th, the Boss Meadery in Madison for Journal and Armory Bash.
Yeah, where are you having it?
Huh?
Where is it? At your house?
No, it's going to be at Boss Meadery where it was. You were there before. You're selling some records and stuff there that one time. That place.
Oh yeah. I don't think
it's a good mead.
But yeah. I love mead. That's fun. It's just a little expensive. But I'm cheap. I'm very cheap these days.
I know multiple people who make it, but I've never tried like their homemade stuff yet. I've only had it at Boss Meadery so far.
Oh yeah. I had probably 5 different meads there. Yeah. I just keep trying all of them. But they had all these funky mixes.
Mm-hmm.
All these posh mead. Yeah. I want Odin's mead. It tastes like ice giant's blood or something.
They could name one like that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. That's I guess the only thing as of the future, the immediate future is the Guzzlemug release, which is an older record, but it still hasn't been properly released. Um, I don't know if we even have a name for it, but I'm excited about that one, and we'll have it. I'll let you know if it matters to you and whoever might watch this. And then,
I'm sure there's probably at
and
least
then
3 people that are watch this.
but also, I'm probably going to put together a little, maybe 15, 20-minute EP of some of the stuff I recorded here.
Okay.
I actually recorded a love song. The first time ever.
Because you're in a love hotel.
Yes. Yeah. And then, yeah, I might do. Hopefully, so what we're gonna do is get some bands from Sukabumi here, local bands, and they're gonna come in like one by one, and we're gonna record them live, and then we're gonna do like a little benefit, like a fundraiser benefit. Are you gonna fall asleep?
No.
Yeah, you are. But we're gonna do another benefit. But yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, you've been talking for 46 minutes now. It's pretty boring.
Yeah, you suck. Whatever. Yeah. So.
I mean, I think if we talk for another 5 minutes, it'd be the longest interview I've done so far.
Okay, I'm gone. Sorry. Yeah. No, I don't know. I talked a lot, but yeah. So yeah, that's all I got going on. Murmur, Guzzlemug, and maybe some Sukabumi stuff. Indonesian music, not really, but some weird shit that we did together.
And we got to find links for. I can't remember there was a Frozen Moon, right? That was somebody that said to look up.
Which
one? I'm trying to remember the different bands you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Frozen Moon?
Okay. Well, Frozen Moon was a Chinese band. My friend's band is called Throat Cutter, but I don't know if you can even find them. You might be able to find them on YouTube or Bandcamp because there's a famous black metal label out of China. I don't know about famous, but it's like pretty much one of the only ones. But they put out the record. I'm not on it, but I did play some live shows with them. And then Round Eye out of Shanghai, but foreign band, punk band. Round Eye. Okay. I think people should definitely check out them. And of course, check out my bands if you can. Guzzlemug and Murmur.
Guzzlemug.
That's pretty much it, really. Because you can't really find, even if you wanted to listen to quote unquote like Forever Sleep or Zen Barfly, like that stuff's not even online. I should probably upload it to YouTube at least. That's that.
Cool. Well, if we cut it short now, you won't make the record for longest interview, so we could do that.
Well, ask me a question. Ask me a question.
I don't know. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Green?
I think
right.
Leaves, the color of leaves. I think
What's the favorite food you've eaten in Indonesia so far? Besides Burger King.
They have, actually I haven't eaten Burger King, but I did eat at A&W. There's A&Ws here, but they suck. Except for the root beer. I can't believe, oh yeah, there's root beer in Indonesia, which is crazy because every Asian place and every European place I've ever been to, I don't think I've ever seen root beer except for maybe special order stuff. Anyway, satay, chicken satay. It's the best I've ever had is in Indonesia. Like satay on a stick, barbecue just over fire, and the best peanut sauce, spicy peanut sauce I've ever had in my life, easily.
Nice.
They don't do Western food particularly amazingly, but they do it kind of better than China does. Yeah, I guess that's it. I haven't eaten a lot of different food, a lot of fried rice. I eat a lot of the same stuff every day because it's really cheap. You just kind of cook rice and vegetables every day. I haven't eaten much meat in the last month and a half. Very little. But that's not really by choice per se, it's just circumstance.
Gotcha.
What's your favorite food that you've eaten in Madison?
I just had a hamburger from this place that I barely remember. It's near where I worked, so I decided to have.
Was it good?
Because right now businesses, that you can't go in to eat there, but you can order takeout or have it delivered or whatever. So there's a place I've been meaning to try out when I was doing Uber Eats for a while. It was called Home Sweet, kind of like as in named after home sweet Alabama. So a lot of their burgers, I think, are kind of like, it's kind of like a musical theme inside of it and stuff like that. But it was a barbecue burger they have there. There's also one called a guitar lick burger, like a garlic burger. But so they had a lot of stuff in there. I looked at it and it was like a really amazing place. So I decided to order this. It's just a basic barbecue burger, like hamburger, but it was
Yeah.
amazing. It was like I
Ah,
don't know what you did with for the flavors, but it's definitely unique to
how
the
much
point where,
was it?
huh?
How much
I
was
would
it?
order another one for sure. So
Did it come with fries or just by itself?
I had cheese curds, which I mean, fried cheese curds isn't something you find too many other places, is it?
No, you'd never find. Actually, fried cheese curds you can find in a lot of places. It's the regular squeaky cheese curds you cannot
Okay,
find.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, these are the fried ones, but
How much was it, by the way? I'm just kind of curious.
the burger,
Yeah.
I think it was like $10.
Actually,
It's
There's a guy here that makes really good burgers. I had one. They're 40,000 rupiah, which is like $2.80.
okay.
But they're really good. You just like caramelized onions. No, man, I'm getting hungry.
I'm still recording, by the way. We're at
I know,
51 minutes now.
I know. Okay, well then I can say goodbye for recording.
Yeah, where's Toupee? Is that like the hostel's cat, or like where'd the cat come
Yeah,
from?
there's actually we don't know where this one came from. He just showed up one day and he stayed. But he's really lazy. Look at him. Oh, and now he's
It
just gonna
doesn't
let
seem to
out.
like to.
He's really nice. I made him jump at a gecko yesterday. That was pretty fun. Yeah, there's geckos everywhere.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So then, yeah, that's everything, and I'll send you the YouTube links. I guess I'll give you any links of anything I've talked about, like the Murmur, Guzzlemug, and some of the stuff I'm doing here.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay.
So I will catch you later.
Goodbye to that one person who
Goodbye.
watched.
So, no, there's probably gonna be at least three.
Oh, that's three. That's
Yeah.
three.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
we if you want, you can go for the record low viewer turnout. I mean, people are gonna see it's like 50 minutes. And like, no, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Although it is a coronavirus, maybe people do have time for it right now
Yeah,
because they have nothing else to do.
they're gonna eat their popcorn, scratch their balls, fall asleep, and then watch the ending.
Eat cheese curds.
Yeah.
If honestly though, if I tell them there's a cat in the video, they're gonna watch the entire thing looking for the cat.
Oh, yeah.
I
can do it again.
we should I could take I'll take the cat I'll take a little clip of the cat and make that as like the main part there. See? I'll put that as the main part of the video, so people are gonna watch the entire thing looking for the cat. They're not gonna care what you say. They just want to see the cat.
Yeah. No one cares about what I want to say. They just want to see Toupee.
Interview
Toupee.
with Shane and Toupee.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you. And
Yeah.
get back to the United States by September for the adrenaline show.
That's very possible, actually.
Yeah. You could, if you want, you could like bring your guitar up on stage and do like a quick 3-song show or something.
I could just throw it around and then get back off stage.
If you have one you want to smash, you can play your ukulele.
I can't smash that.
Well, don't smash it, just play it.
Yeah, but I'm staying at your place.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely. You can stay at our house.
Okay.
All right. See you later.
Goodbye.
Have a good night. That's what 10:44 p.m. there now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
Thanks for
All
the
right,
interview. See ya.
Of course. Take care.